challenges faced by electricians are not unique. Price sensitivity is a common issue where customers often prioritize the lowest cost, even if it compromises safety and quality. Permit avoidance is another problem where some companies and homeowners try to avoid the costs associated with permits, which can undermine electrical safety. The use of unlicensed labor is also a concern, as unlicensed individuals may be hired for cheaper labor costs, but this can pose risks. Low bids can also be a problem, as contractors who bid extremely low may not be factoring in overhead, insurance, and profit, which can compromise the quality of their work. To address customer hesitancy, it is important to educate customers by explaining the importance of permits and licensed electricians to ensure safety, quality, and insurance coverage. It's important to highlight the risks and emphasize the potential dangers and legal consequences of not following electrical codes and regulations. Consider using a balanced approach and offer tiered pricing options that include a basic package with minimum safety measures and an enhanced package with additional safety features and permit costs. Implementing a fee for estimates can also help deter homeowners from seeking multiple bids and can offset expenses related to travel and time. It is important to maintain integrity and continue to provide high-quality work and ethical practices, even in the face of competition. Cooperate with authorities by reporting any instances of unlicensed work or permit avoidance to the appropriate authorities. Engage with local electrical associations and organizations to promote responsible practices and educate customers about the value of safety. It is important to resist price pressures and avoid lowering prices to compete with unethical practices. Never compromise electrical safety for the sake of profit. Maintain professional standards and adhere to the industry standards and regulations, even if it means losing some bids. Navigating the challenges requires a balance of education, integrity, and strategic decision-making. By addressing customer hesitations, protecting quality and safety, and maintaining ethical standards, one can position themselves as a reputable and trusted electrician. Remember, the long-term benefits of ethical practices and quality work will far outweigh the short-term gains of competing solely on price. Firstly, always prioritize safety in all electrical work. Secondly, comply with all applicable electrical codes and regulations. Thirdly, obtain the necessary permits for each job. Fourthly, use appropriately sized conductors and equipment as per the National Electrical Code (NEC). For example, NEC Table 310.15b16 provides ampacity ratings for conductors based on insulation type and temperature rating. Fifthly, ensure proper grounding and bonding to minimize the risk of electrical shock. For example, use a number 6 copper conductor for grounding a 50 amp circuit. Sixthly, educate clients about the importance of safety and compliance. Seventhly, provide clear and detailed explanations of the work to be performed. Eighthly, include the cost of permits in the initial estimate. Ninthly, highlight the potential hazards of not following electrical codes. Tenthly, show the potential legal and financial consequences of non-compliance. 11thly, maintain detailed records of all work performed. 12thly, keep copies of permits, inspections, and client agreements. 13thly, document any deviations from standard practices and the reasons for such deviations. 14thly, continuously update knowledge of electrical codes and best practices. 15thly, attend training courses and workshops to stay current with the latest regulations. 16thly, consult with experienced electricians and industry experts to address complex issues. 17thly, consider specializing in niche areas of electrical work. 18thly, focus on areas where specialized knowledge and expertise are highly valued, such as renewable energy systems, smart home automation, or industrial controls. 19thly, differentiate yourself from competitors by offering unique services or solutions. 20thly, invest in quality tools and equipment to ensure accuracy and efficiency. 21st, use calibrated testing equipment to verify the safety and performance of electrical systems. 22nd, implement a system for tracking and maintaining equipment. 23rd, develop strong relationships with suppliers and vendors. 24th, negotiate favorable pricing and payment terms. 25th, ensure timely delivery of materials and equipment. 26th, prioritize excellent customer service. 27th, respond promptly to client inquiries and concerns. 28th, provide clear and concise communication throughout the project. 29th, follow up with clients after completion of work to ensure satisfaction. 30th, seek referrals from satisfied clients. 31st, implement a system for gathering and managing referrals. 32nd, offer incentives for clients who refer new business. 33rd, network with other professionals in the construction industry. 34th, attend industry events and trade shows. 35th, join professional organizations and associations. 36th, participate in community events and sponsorships. 37th, build brand awareness through marketing and advertising. 38th, develop a professional website and social media presence. 39th, utilize online directories and search engine optimization to attract new clients. 40th, focus on building long-term relationships with clients. 41st, provide ongoing support and maintenance services. 42nd, offer loyalty programs and discounts for repeat customers. 43rd, demonstrate a commitment to ethical business practices. 44th, operate with honesty, integrity, and transparency. 45th, adhere to a strict code of conduct. 46th, avoid conflicts of interest. 47th, respect client confidentiality. 48th, consider offering financing options to make services more affordable. 49th, partner with financial institutions to provide financing solutions. 50th, offer payment plans and installment options. 51st, thoroughly assess each job before providing a quote. 52nd, conduct a detailed site visit to identify potential issues and challenges. 53rd, consider all factors that may affect the cost and timeline of the project. 54th, clearly communicate the scope of work and any potential risks to the client. Electrical work inherently carries risk, and hot tubs even more so. You mentioned some concerning observations regarding hot tub installations, specifically related to wiring and grounding. Let's break down why these issues are so critical and what the NEC requires. First, undersized conductors can lead to overheating and fire. The NEC mandates that conductors be sized appropriately for the load they will carry. For example, a 50-amp circuit generally requires a minimum of number 6 copper conductors, assuming THHN insulation and a temperature rating of 75 degrees Celsius. Always consult NEC Table 310.15b16 for specific ampacity requirements based on conductor type, insulation, and installation conditions. Secondly, improper grounding can create shock hazards. The purpose of a grounding conductor is to provide a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, allowing the overcurrent protective device, such as the circuit breaker, to trip and energize the circuit. The NEC requires a full-size grounding conductor to be installed with all circuits. In the case of a 50-amp circuit, a number 10 copper grounding conductor is often inadequate. The grounding conductor size must be based on the size of the ungrounded conductors, as specified in NEC Table 250.122. In this case, it would be number 6 copper. Thirdly, using SER cable inappropriately can compromise safety. SER cable, service entrance cable, is designed for specific applications, primarily for the service entrance conductors from the utility to the main disconnect. It is not intended for general branch circuit wiring, particularly in wet or damp locations like those around a hot tub. The NEC permits the use of SER cable in certain interior branch circuit applications, but it is generally not recommended or appropriate for hot tub circuits. SER cable typically has a reduced size neutral conductor and is not designed for the harsh environmental conditions often found near hot tubs. Always use conductors and wiring methods that are specifically listed and approved for the intended application and environment. Fourthly, hot tub manufacturers' specifications must be followed. Hot tub manufacturers provide detailed specifications for the electrical connections, including the required voltage, amperage, conductor size, and grounding requirement. These specifications are based on the specific design and components of the hot tub and are essential for safe and reliable operation. Always consult the manufacturer's specifications and follow them meticulously. Ignoring these specifications can lead to equipment damage, electrical hazards, and voided warranties. Fifthly, local electrical codes and inspections are important. Local electrical codes may have additional requirements or restrictions beyond those specified in the NEC. These local codes are often based on specific environmental conditions, building practices, and safety concerns in the area. Always check with the local electrical inspector or building department to ensure compliance with all applicable codes. Electrical inspections are essential for verifying that the installation meets the required safety standards. Inspections help to identify potential hazards and ensure that the work is performed by qualified individuals. Sixthly, homeowner education is crucial. Homeowners may not be aware of the electrical hazards associated with hot tub installations. It is important to educate them about the importance of proper wiring, grounding, and bonding, as well as the need for regular inspections and maintenance. Explain the potential consequences of improper installations, including electrical shock, fire, and equipment damage. Encourage homeowners to hire licensed and qualified electricians for all electrical work. Seventhly, documentation is essential. Maintain detailed records of all hot tub installations, including the manufacturer's specifications, wiring diagrams, inspection reports, and permits. This documentation will be valuable for future maintenance, troubleshooting, and warranty claims. Keep the documentation readily accessible to the homeowner and any future electricians who may need to service the hot tub. Eighthly, consider GFCI protection. The NEC requires ground fault circuit interrupter (GFCI) protection for all electrical circuits serving hot tubs. GFCI protection is designed to detect even small amounts of leakage current and quickly de-energize the circuit, minimizing the risk of electrical shock. Ensure that the GFCI protection is properly installed and tested to verify its functionality. Ninthly, perform load calculations. Before installing a hot tub, perform a load calculation to determine the total electrical load in the circuit and the service panel. This calculation will ensure that the existing electrical system has sufficient capacity to handle the additional load without overloading the circuit or the service panel. Consult the NEC for guidance on performing load calculations. Tenthly, prioritize safety. Never compromise safety for the sake of cost or convenience. If you encounter any unsafe conditions or questionable practices, take immediate action to correct them. If necessary, refuse to perform the work until the issues are resolved. Your reputation and the safety of your clients depend on your commitment to safety.